Go ahead and tag my girl Nene in, um, so that we can go ahead and start. What up?
Hey, sissy.
How you be?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. I'm asking you how you be like I didn't talk to you earlier today.
I know, right? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
I can hear you
perfect.
just fine, girl. I can hear
Okay.
you just fine. Mommy Nation in the building.
Yeah.
What's up? How are y'all? I'm scrolling through trying to see all my people. Hey! Okay, so tonight, just to make sure everybody is aware of what we're talking about tonight, the topic is misconceptions of the First Lady. And what I mean by the First Lady is not, what's her name? Trump. I can't remember her first name. Huh. We're not talking about
Melania.
Melania, that's it. We're not talking about her today, okay? We're talking about the First Lady, the title that we have given the pastor's wife, at least in the Black church. I know that's what, people like to call the pastor's wife is the First Lady. This is a conversation that I feel like is long overdue. I try to bite my tongue on a lot of things when it comes to like this. But I feel like there is a tactful way to present all information, right? So I think this is a good forum to just kind of educate, inform people, and also kind of, I guess, give some insight to how you can be more mindful of the things that may be
Right.
going on behind the scenes
Hmm.
that you don't realize. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in, and I'm gonna let my sis introduce herself.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Lucretia Edwards, and my husband and myself, we serve in ministry in the Houston, Texas area with the Revolution 180 Church. Whoop, whoop. We've been in ministry for about 6 years now. I have three children, twins that are 4 years old, and I also have a 12-year-old. And me and my husband has, like I said, been in ministry for 6 years and married 12 years. And the road hasn't been easy, but we're here.
Yes, I love it. Me and so a little bit of background information. Me and Nene met through our husbands. So her husband Josh and Vicente are best friends. So that's how me and Nene connected. I'm like, I'm glad y'all are friends, or I would have never met Nene.
Yeah, we would never, I
I
know.
mean, you too, Josh. I love you too, Josh. But Nene, that's my girl.
Look
That's
at
my
him while he yelling, talking about 14 years, Ray. 14, my bad.
You got it
We're
wrong.
warming up. We're
Get it
warming up.
together. Get it together. Get it together. That's dope. That's dope. Okay, so we're gonna start with some positive. Okay, so we're gonna go over pros and cons. Where I want you to
Okay.
answer what are some pros and cons to being the pastor's wife. And let's start with the pros. Let's start with the positives.
Okay. All right. Some of the pros that I've experienced is, I would say, just being able to build new relationships. Also being able to have a group of people to where you can encourage and impart into them and be able to see their progress, like to see them from that encouragement or their coaching that you've been giving them, being able to see where they started and where they are now. I would consider that as one of the pros in ministry. And mostly I'm very relational, so building relationships has been really big for me too with ministry.
That's dope. That's dope. I like that. Uh, Talia is giving us shout outs for our lipstick and our glasses.
Oh, thank
Those
you.
glasses are cute, sis.
Thank
Like,
you, Ray-Ban.
oh, look,
Thank
I be trying to get the little $5 pairs that I can.
Girl, see, sis, yours is, you can just wear yours as fashion. Mine, I can't see without them, so I gotta get some cute
Mm,
ones.
you're right. You're right. I forgot about that. You sure right. But that was a good point though that you made about being able to like see. It's almost like the fruit of your labor. Um,
Right, yes.
because even as the pastor's wife, you're not the pastor,
Mm-hmm.
but you're still pouring into people.
Mm-hmm.
You're still pouring into
Yes.
people just like he is. So
Mm-hmm.
that I know that that has to be extremely rewarding, and even from like
Absolutely.
with me doing ministry and leading in the mime team and the praise team and being able to see that same. I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you on that. Okay, what's another one? Is that the only one you got? I
Another
look. I thought
pro.
me and Nene talked before this, and I said, listen, the pro list may be a little shorter than the con list, and that's all right because we gonna keep it real. We gonna
um,
keep it real.
I would say another pro list for me is even with being a first lady, I've been able to build relationships outside of the church with other first ladies, and
Yeah,
I really enjoy that because if being a first lady, there's a lot of things that with hanging with other first ladies you can relate to instead of being frustrated, irritated. There's time I built several relationships with other first ladies where we can vent to each other and say, hey, this is what I
yeah,
was dealing with, or this is what I'm dealing with now. Well, girl, let me tell you, this is how I got through it. This is
yeah,
what I did. So that's definitely another pro for me. I built some really good relationships with other first ladies. And
yeah.
I've met some we have some really dope women and men at our ministry, but the women, whoop whoop, those are definitely those are my riders. I love the women
Yeah,
at our church for real.
I love it. I love it. That's huge. And you know
Yes.
what? That's always like scary for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like meeting another first lady for the first time
Oh yes,
is
absolutely.
always scary for me because I'm not the stereotypical first
Mm-hmm.
lady. You're not
Yeah.
either, which is why we vibe. Like,
And that's me because I'm always like, but when I meet you, can I call you by your first name, or do you
right,
want to hear Lady Courtney, or do you want to hear, you know what I'm
right,
saying? So
right.
yeah.
It's always scary for me because I don't know how I'm gonna be received.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if the personalities are gonna be. And then even when you do meet them, like sometimes you don't get a chance to really like talk to them before you get there in the service. Like I've
Exactly.
been to a church for the first time and I get escorted in to a seat beside the first
Mm.
lady, and this is my first time meeting her.
First
And so
time.
she's like
Yep.
in the service, like, all prim and
Mm-hmm.
proper, and I'm like, oh God, one of those.
For
And
real,
then and
yes.
then service is over and she let her
Running to
hair
the
down. And
car.
I'm
I'm
like,
running.
oh, I'm like, thank you. She's normal. Thank you, Jesus. But it's always you never know. So that's why I'm so grateful for my relationship with you, as
Yeah.
well as a few other ladies who are also actually in the Houston area that I've been able to connect with through friendships that my husband has with their
Right.
husband, and being
Yeah.
able to meet people
Mm-hmm.
who I feel like get me and understand
Mm-hmm.
me, and I can be
Yes.
myself. Because y'all
Exactly.
know me, I don't do good with like faking the funk.
I can't fake. No, no, no. I can't do it. I see my
Yeah.
sis, First Lady Wynn, joined, and Lady Mo. Those are my sis from
Hey,
Houston.
hey,
So
hey.
yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's. I agree with you. It's really good to have those relationships.
Yeah.
Um, and what are some of the cons that you've experienced? Oh wait, hold on, before we get too deep in, I just want to put this disclaimer out here. Okay, we're gonna be keeping it real tonight, but this ain't about like gossip and mess and all that. That's
Right.
what this is for. That's one. Two, we're gonna be talking about our personal experiences. We ain't talking about
Hours.
nobody else pastors,
Hours.
nobody else wives.
Hours.
So
Hours. Hours.
so don't ask because we're not talking about nobody else but us. All right. All right. Anyways, yeah. So what are some of the cons that come with the territory? Because I'm just like a semi pastor's wife. My
Pastor's wife.
husband
You
doesn't
are you
have
are pastor's wife for
he doesn't
sure.
have his own church. That's gonna be a whole nother beast. It's already you know pretty
Mm-hmm.
easy right now. But
Yeah.
what are some of the cons that come with that?
Some of the cons for me would be, ooh, when you still gotta push when they don't show up on Sundays. Um, some of the cons for me would be when you know there's a certain goal you need to reach and it ain't there.
Yeah.
and your family has to be the one to put that in place. Some of the cons for me would be seeing people get so far, like seeing someone get so far to only, just to backtrack. And it's like, man, you had did it. You made it. You was there. Now we got to do this all over again, which I don't
Yeah.
mind doing it again because, that's what God put me here for. But that is definitely some of the cons for me. Some more cons would be, I would say, giving correction, but not being understood, not knowing that that correction is in love. You know what I'm saying? No matter how you give it in a good way, still just, not being taken as if she really wants the best for me. So that would be another con for me as well. I can go on and on with the cons. So
Yeah, I'm sure. One thing you said that I want to comment on was when you was talking about knowing that there are like certain goals that need to be reached, and I know what you're talking about. You're talking about finances here.
come
So
on.
let's talk about this because this is a soft spot for me because so many people feel like pastors shouldn't get paid, which I'm like, you clearly don't know.
And I ain't
Because this ain't no
even
9 to 5, baby. Okay, there's no such thing as you clock in and you clock out
period.
when it
And
comes
this
to this.
mine, as far as with reaching a goal, has, I would say, me personally, I'm talking about me, has absolutely nothing to do with it. The pastor. Of course, he should be, given something because, he's worthy of it,
Right, right.
But I'm talking about even as far as with like
Sorry, y'all. Keep going.
what people don't understand also, I would say, is ministry has needs. It's like
Yes,
your house. Needs have to be met. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, in order to meet that need, you have to meet that goal. So yeah.
yes. So if you have I'm a PK, right?
Me too.
So I know I've been there where, this is after my dad passed, and my mom was the pastor. So I was PK on both sides. My dad was pastor. He passed away. My mom took over the church, and there were times where the money just wasn't there. People just wasn't giving. I'm not gonna say the money wasn't there. The money was there. People
Yeah,
just weren't giving,
absolutely.
and my mom had to pay to keep the lights on. She had to pay it got to get done. So
It
if
gotta get done. It gotta
people
get
sit
done.
back and they have these judgments looking from the outside looking in about how, oh, now the pastor up here begging for money and all this stuff. Now I will say there's a tactful way to raise an offering.
Absolutely.
Some people
Absolutely.
do be out of line. So
Out of line.
I ain't even front on that.
Because I ain't
Some,
promising you nothing. Give this so that we can come next Sunday.
some people be out of line when they be raising offerings. But it's a necessary part because like literally just the water and the lights and all of that, like
Mm-hmm.
that's where the money is going. And unfortunately, you have people who have, mistreated people's funds and stuff like that. And so now a lot of people, they walk around with this church hurt, as people like to call it. And
Yeah.
just assume that everybody is that way. Every
Everybody.
pastor, every leader is that way. And that's not the case. There are far more. If you knew the number of churches just in the state of Texas alone, there are far more legit, honorable
Mm-hmm.
men and women of integrity who are leading these churches than there are grimy lying folks. Okay, so
Exactly.
just
Right.
put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that, like you said, Nene, if it don't get paid, if it don't get done, like that
Somebody got
pastor
to
and
do
first
it.
lady, that's money coming from they kids' mouths. That's money coming from clothes that they kids need. Like this is real stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
I I could go on and on about that. And then to let me speak to this part real quick. The part, sorry, the part where people feel like pastors shouldn't get paid. That just behooves me as my dude that I like to follow. I can't think of his name right now. It behooves me that people feel like um pastors she didn't get paid. And I really don't understand the logic with that because, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a 9 to 5. They don't clock in and clock out. They get calls in the middle of the night that they have to.
24/7.
They got to pick up and run and go to the hospital and pray over people and like all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I don't understand. It is a more than full-time job. You ain't finna be
Mm-hmm.
pastoring somebody's church and have a whole full-time job and not just be stretched thin. Like you gonna be stretched thin, you gonna be tired.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, like that's just yeah. So
And don't forget all the time that they spend just in preparation.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes. Sermons don't write themselves, guys.
leaving us with them kids.
We listen.
Don't get me started.
We ain't gonna leaving us with the kids, okay? Leaving
Shoot.
us. Yeah, that's good. There was something else that you said that stood out to me, and I can't remember what it was. It'll probably come to me again. But here's another question. I have another question for you. What is a misconception that somebody Tashara Shar said all weekend up till 4 a.m. Sunday morning. You ain't lying.
You preaching, sis.
You
I'm
you
trying to tell
ain't
you.
lying. Like all night. Yeah, man. What is a misconception that people or someone at any point since you've been a first lady has had about you?
Um, I would say I've gotten from a first lady before, and this is the only thing that I've ever heard before where someone told me, "You look mean. You look like you got an attitude." And I mean, I definitely don't come off like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the way my lips. I don't know. But I got some friends on here, and you know, like I'm definitely, I'm very relational, so I like making new relationships. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I don't play about my family. That's real. I really don't. When it comes to my husband, when it comes to my 3 kids, I really don't. And I don't try to, I don't think that cause I don't say nothing, you know, I don't say anything. So I don't know where that came from, but, I'm just the type of person to where I don't want to say that, but I'm not a mean person at all. And like I said, we've been in ministry for 6 years, and only one first lady has told me that before. So, I mean, I guess that was just something that the Lord showed her. I don't know.
Well, I'm
But
gonna tell you this. I'm gonna try to figure out. There we go. I pinned it so people will know what we're talking about.
okay.
I'm gonna tell you this. You're not alone. I have heard that so many times. I have a friend actually. Her name's Sierra. We did ministry together on the mom team. We have been
Mm-hmm.
friends. We have been friends for years. And one day we were talking about something. I think I was talking about how somebody said that they thought I was mean before they like officially met me. And she was like, "Oh, yeah, I thought that too. Like the first time I saw you, I thought you were a B word." And I was like,
What?
"What?" Like
You don't even come up like that.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm very expressive with my face. Like maybe
Yeah.
if you're like watching me talk from a distance and my face is doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you assume that like
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
me. I don't know, but I've gotten it too. But those who know me know I'm just like you. Like I love people. I
I
love.
know.
I'm very
I speak to
social.
people I don't know. I mean, we could be in a store and I will start holding a conversation. I mean, like,
See, now
girl,
I ain't
that
doing
top
all
is
that. I
cute.
ain't doing all that
Yes, I am
now.
friendly, Joe. I am friendly.
But it's the same thing with me, man. Like I don't play when it comes to my husband. And
Mm-mm.
I know when we do like go out places, I know there's a mentality that I have when I go out to places, and
Hmm.
maybe that's coming through unbeknownst to me. Um
Make sure my husband leave with his honorarium. Give us our sermon back.
you You are
I
stupid.
mean,
Bless the preacher now. Bless the
bless them.
preacher.
We traveled this far. And we didn't come alone.
Didn't.
All I'm
Didn't.
saying.
Oh, look, I could talk about that all day. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. My husband one time, were we married yet? I'm trying to remember if we were married yet. It must have been like either early on married or engaged or something. We traveled and it was about 3 hours, three and a half hour drive from here.
Wow.
He went down, he preached. It was a small church that he had never been to. The pastor didn't know him. It was like some kind of youth or some kind of special service. And so he was invited to come and he got $50.
Girl, Josh done got 35. That
That's
was
such a
just waiting to
that's
come
such a
out. I
random
just
number.
knew. I was
Why?
waiting to get that out.
That's such a random number.
I was like, I know when you raised that offering this morning, sir, that was not, that ain't what that equal to. Let me send my finance people back there.
And it's not that, like, we know our husbands. We know they would do this for free because they did it for free for a long time, and now God has elevated them to a different position. But this is stuff that they just are passionate about and love. They're not in it for the money. But
Yeah.
like you want to at least feel like you were appreciated in some capacity, in some way,
Yep.
because
Exactly.
you don't call nobody in to come and fix your plumbing and then be like, all right, hand them $5 and send them on their way. Like that's it's not how it works. Like people,
Yep.
this is people's
Exactly.
livelihoods, just like any other job, But yeah, are there any other misconceptions that you've experienced?
um, what was the one I just said? What did I just say?
People thinking you mean.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
wait, hold on, pause before you answer that.
Okay.
I wanted to go back to a comment that I saw earlier. I think it was Monique.
Okay.
Uh, she said, "There's nothing glamorous about pastoring."
At
Let's
all.
talk. Let's talk about that. Listen, these comments are lit. We can have conversations just based on these comments.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Ain't nothing glamorous about pastoring."
It's really not. It's really not. And when people think that they can do your job, or when people think that they know what it is, I'm like, let's just let them. Let's just let them have it for at least a week or two. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
all it's gonna
And
take is a week. That's it.
yeah, I
And
mean,
they gonna be running back to their job at Walmart, girl. Running.
girl, I don't know. I remember one time someone came to our church. I'm not gonna say no names, nothing, but somebody came to our church before, a pastor, and he basically said that my place was to be on the front row. That's where I needed to sit, was on the front row. And that he should have been the one that should have said something about facial expressions, because being mean, because my face was just like, okay. And in my mind, I was like, me and Josh gonna talk about that after church. Cause see, and I just had to remember it. We're gonna talk about that because, and that's what I think. That's some of a part of a misconception when it comes to first ladies. Like, some of these first ladies that I don't mix with is the ones that feel like, oh, I gotta have a front seat, or oh, I gotta dress up, oh, I gotta wear hair. You may catch me on a Sunday in my flip flops. You may see me on a Sunday in my Air Max. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that I couldn't change myself coming into this position as
Yeah.
far as with like who I am, and I don't know. It's just a lot of people, they think that first lady, there's a certain face you supposed to have, or like a certain pair, like an outfit that you're supposed to put on, and oh, that makes you first lady. And it's like, who taught you that? Like, just because it was that's the, like the culture, that's what culture has taught them. And when we first came into pastoring, I was 27, 28 years old. I wasn't wearing no hat, sis. And I wasn't wearing no two-piece outfit. This past anniversary that we just had may have been the first or the second anniversary to where I even put on some pumps. I remember like our second anniversary, or maybe the fourth, something like that. I don't know. But I remember I walked in there with some Chucks on. I had just had the twins, carrying the twins in, and I'm like, I'm his wife, first lady, don't mean nothing to me. At the end of the day,
Yes.
people outside of church know me as Nene, and I
Right.
can't change that.
Right. Listen, you preaching. Listen, this is why I wore this shirt, because I knew it said "Girl Preach," because I knew you was gonna be preaching. I knew you was gonna be preaching. It's so true, man. Like, it's so funny. So this weekend we were in Dallas and V preached Saturday, and I came in. Well, me and the baby, they came to tell us, they're ready for us to go inside. I had to take the baby to the bathroom, so they went ahead and went inside. I came out the bathroom. There was nobody around, and I wasn't just like, oh. Somebody's gonna
Right.
escort me to my seat. I was like, I can figure this out. I'm a big girl. We're gonna find a door.
We're gonna find it.
So I went in and I sat down. And then V came in and he was sitting up on the stage, and the guy that escorted him in, I saw him like go over there and was like pointing in my direction and like talking to V. So I knew he was trying to figure out.
He want to tell you to come on.
Do we
Don't
need to
you
move
hate
her?
that?
And V was like, I could see emotion, like, cause he know me. Like,
I'm fine.
I'm good, bro. Like, leave me where I'm at. Me and this baby, we gonna sit over here because I
Period.
go out the door at any moment.
Let me sit in the corner, give him his snacks
like,
every now and then. We ain't trying to do that.
So like, you don't gotta, like, I've sat in many backs of churches.
Period.
And I'm not
and I'm fine with it.
Because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be his wife. We still gonna get in this car and go home together.
Exactly.
That's all that really matters. I mean, whatever floats your boat. I know there are preachers' wives who love grandeur and they love to sit in the front and all that. I don't
either.
Like,
I don't have to have
like
the front.
attention.
And trust me, he'll know my voice because I'll definitely be screaming from the back.
Right. Preach.
And going live and everything. So, I mean, he know me.
Number one fan. One time, we were actually here in Austin, and V was getting ready to go up. I think they were singing or something, and I had to go change the baby's pamper. So I take him out. I keep forgetting that this thing gonna go off over here. So I take him out. I take the baby out, and when I come back, the V is up and he's getting ready to preach. So they had the doors where you couldn't come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the usher, he looked through and he was like, 1 second. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna be like, no, I am his wife. Like, you need to. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So V's up there talking, and he always, shouts me out when he gets up there. And so he's shouting me out, and I'm in the little foyer area. And so he's like, I think that's her right there. So then the man's like, so he like opens the door and he's like, I'm so sorry. I said, why are you apologizing? This is your protocol.
Exactly. I ain't no different.
I can't come in. Like, I don't get to break the rules because I'm with the preacher. Like,
exactly.
Like, it's okay, bro. You're good.
You're not gonna lose your job, sir.
Oh, let me see, because I know I done missed a lot of comments. Priest said, unfortunately, I think that's a stigma attached to assured, confident women. Oh, I think she's talking about the
absolutely. That's exactly how I feel. That those kind of first ladies that do that, they don't know their identity. And it's like wrapped up into that title. And like I said before, I was Nene before First Lady and still Nene after walking into a church. You know what I'm saying? Right. All of that don't matter to me. And one thing, like you said, that you can rest assured of is getting that shout out. I always get the shout out. So whatever. And even if I don't get it, I be like, they follow us on social media. Like, they know who his wife is, who his kids is. I don't care.
Right. And look, they got his face, okay?
Yeah. And we've been together so long, we are starting to look like quadruplets and everything. So
yeah, y'all all look alike. It's crazy.
We together.
Y'all all look alike. Tashara. Oh Lord, Tashara acting up. Oh, anybody can get these hands. I don't even know what part you was referring to. But
right.
Agreed. These holy hands. We'll lift them up in a second. Okay. Let me see.
Lady Mo says she don't even be wanting a shout out.
Like, just let me be. I'm going to
I
hide
know.
back here in the shadows. Let me see. Uh, y'all been going in these comments. Good Lord. Trying to make sure I don't, I'm trying to make sure I don't leave anything out. Okay, let me
Okay.
see. What's our next question? Okay, so I actually had got some questions from well, I'm gonna do those last. Tashara, I'm gonna save your questions for last, sis. Um one more question before we get to those questions that were already submitted. And if you do have questions while we're like in the moment, like feel free to either put them in the comment section or like there's like a little question box on the bottom. You can submit them like as an official question. Josh said the harsh reality is for some first ladies, they're so infatuated with it that if it was to ever change, there goes the marriage. Oh, dang, bro, you just
Yeah.
gonna you just gonna drop the bomb like that.
That is true. That's because
Wow.
that's their identity. They don't know anything else outside of that. If you take that title from me, I don't know what else to do. I'm done.
Whew, good Lord. Man, that's a harsh reality right there.
Mm,
And that's a scary place to be in,
it
man.
really is.
That's all you like that's you. Like you are
Hmm.
first lady. You don't know anything outside of that.
Anything else? That's a
It's one thing to
sad
be
place to be
fully
in.
devoted to ministry, but that's a whole different thing. This ain't devotion to ministry and to God. This is
Hmm.
you worshiping some idols at that point, bro. Like, nah, man, that's not healthy.
At
That's not
all.
healthy. That's not healthy. This is why. Oh, this is what I wanted to do, real
Okay.
quick. Shout out to my first lady. Listen, Kathy Clark is amazing.
Whoop whoop.
She she makes me feel so comfortable being in my own skin because I serve. I'm never gonna be the type of pastor's wife that's just sitting there on the front row, like you said, with the big hat. Like
Hmm.
it's just that's never going to be me. I serve. I've been serving since I was a little kid. Like this is just what I do.
Hmm.
And my first lady, listen, you can come to church on a random Sunday and not know who the first lady is, and here's why. She serves.
See.
She serves. You will be greeted at the door by the first lady and not even know it. You will be
Wow.
taken into the room during invitation by the first lady and not even know it because she's not going to introduce herself as the first lady, as the pastor's wife. You will never know. You could literally never know unless you look up and come to a service where she's actually sitting beside Pastor Clark.
Wow.
Because a lot of times she's not. She's back there serving. She's serving. She all over the place serving. Through the week, she at the church serving. Like, I just love her. I love her.
Yeah.
She's so chill. She's so relatable. She's so down to earth. And even as amazing as she is, there's still people who just ain't never satisfied.
Oh yeah. Absolutely not.
Like, ain't never they gonna find something wrong with something. People just look for things to complain about. They may try to tell you your hair ain't right. Listen, wherever the Lord send my husband, they better be ready for this. Okay?
For real,
They're gonna have to be ready for this because this is what it's gonna be. Because this is just
girl.
what. But yeah, it's like it doesn't make sense to try to be something that you're not. Because even
Exactly.
if you try to fit the mold, it's never gonna be enough. It's never gonna be enough.
And if I wasn't doing praise and worship, that's exactly one of the things that I said that I wanted to do was be a greeter. And
Mm.
what's really sad is that that big church that y'all have with all of those members, and you got that first lady serving and greeting people, but some of these first ladies that have to stand out and want to be on the front row, you ain't got no more than 5, 10, maybe 15. And
45,
that's
47.
okay. And that's okay, but sit down. Just
Yeah. I feel you,
Yeah.
man. I feel you. Because you can't, yeah, just because you become a pastor's wife, you can't just stop serving. Like your job ain't done. You still
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be a disciple out here. Like,
Yep.
hello. Hello.
Exactly,
Your
girl.
job isn't over. Anyway, listen,
Mm-hmm.
I can talk about that all day. Okay,
For
this next
real.
question. Have you ever, how's my battery going low already? Lord. Okay. Have you ever felt like you could not be yourself? And I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, y'all. I have this thing fully charged, but I be forgetting once I plug all these things up to it, it be draining the battery so fast. Um, but yeah, have you ever felt like you couldn't be yourself?
Um, so I've never felt like I couldn't be myself because I've always been the type of person to where I kind of, I don't want to say make people, but I mean being around me, you kind of got to adapt to. I make people adapt to my environment. I mean, if you don't take what I'm giving, or if you're not accepting what I'm giving, if you don't like it, I mean, then we just don't rock, and that's perfectly fine. But I will never ever change me like that. That's just too uncomfortable. I can't deal. I got 3 kids, and that's just too many. That's just another job to try to fill, and I don't have time. I can't.
Listen, my bro slash your husband said, that's why I believe our roles as husbands and pastors is not to limit your lives to our dreams, but leave room for you to fulfill your destiny. Come on, Pastor. Look,
Quit preaching on here.
Josh on here about trying to get him some new members.
You're not getting no honorarium tonight,
The
babe.
doors of the church are now open. That's real though, because
Yeah.
there are, while we're talking about the first lady, there are some pastors out here in the world who that's what they want. They
Mm-hmm.
want the stereotypical cookie cutter, sit on
Right.
the front row, shut up,
Mm-hmm.
wave your hands and say amen. First lady.
Exactly.
They don't want them out here leading praise and worship and greeting. Like, they don't want that.
They just want them to sit down.
Yeah, which is crazy because that's not what we call to do.
I know, and if ain't nobody supporting the first lady, should definitely be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
if ain't nobody saying amen, you gonna hear my big mouth.
right. Like, what we need, boo? We need a custodian. Ain't nobody here to scrub the
Okay?
toilet. I got you.
For
I got you.
real.
Like, let's do it. Let's make it happen. A trophy wife, exactly. To share.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is, a trophy wife.
Oh, Lord. Okay, let's go to the next question. All right, Tashara, we get into your questions now. Okay,
Uh-oh.
she asked, "Look, be afraid." No.
What you talking about, Tashara?
Prior to being married, did you want to be a first lady? Ooh, that's a good one.
Absolutely not. That was not a little girl dream of mine. No.
Oh my
I've
God.
never ever ever wanted to be a first lady. Ever.
Me neither, bro.
I enjoy the assignment now, but that
Right.
has never ever been something that, like some people, that's really what they dream of doing. But no, no, no.
Yeah. Me neither, man. And Monique said no, no, and no.
Okay, mm-mm.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah. Me neither. I
Girl.
actually, growing up as a PK, like I saw all the stuff that comes with it and that goes on behind the scenes, and I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good on that, bro.
I
I'm
don't,
good on
mm-mm.
that. And then Jesus was like, ha ha. And here we
Girl.
are.
Ooh, don't get me
And,
started on that moment when that day came. Whew.
and here we are. Golly, it's definitely not what I mean, and like you said, some people maybe that's, their dream, but it's because on the outside looking in,
Mm-hmm.
they see the glitz and the glam.
Yep.
And I put that in quotes because it's not
It's
no glam.
not. It's not.
They see the glitz and the glam, or maybe they do have the first lady that's, with the big hat, and she's looking beautiful every Sunday, and they're just like, man, I want that. Which is fine if you want that. That's not a bad thing, but you got to know the real. Like, you got to know the real. It's not,
Exactly.
man, listen, Sunday is just one day out of the week that you get to see a glimpse of your
Mm-hmm.
pastor and your first lady. Like,
Ooh.
there's
If
a
you could just step
whole
into
lot.
the life
Listen,
after church on a Sunday.
listen.
Just
There's a
after
whole lot.
church.
Like right after the service. Like,
Right after the
amen.
service. Like when
Right there.
everybody is gone.
Yeah, man. It's real. It's real. It's not easy. It's hard. Um, One of the hardest parts for me is oh yeah, because I didn't really share any cons. But one of the hardest parts for me is having to share your husband with everybody. You gotta share him with
Everybody.
everybody. Like,
All my kids having to share their dad.
yep, with everybody. Third,
Mm-hmm.
he's still young. You know, he don't know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But I do. I know the difference.
I
Okay.
do too.
And my love language is quality time.
Mm-hmm.
And so there have been many days where we have our routine scheduled date nights and they've had to be canceled because of this person need me to do this and this person need me to do that. And I need to go.
Yep.
I got to bless this house and I got to go kiss that baby. I got to shake.
Ooh. Woo.
And I'm just like, all right.
Okay. Be safe.
Okay. Although I don't respond like that every time, right? I try. I try to extend grace, but after a while, it just be like, look, bro.
Mine is I extend grace when you walking out the door and be like, all right, be safe, okay. But then it's the phone call. You done thought about it. Then you call,
Yeah.
because I just think we had this planned so you can put it on their
Yes.
mind.
Once you let it marinate for a little bit, you like, actually, this is not okay.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you why you here with me. I want to wait till you walk
You,
out the door when you done made the decision.
you hit the nail on the head with that one. Oh, yeah, that callback. I done did that a few times.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. People just don't understand,
They
you know,
don't.
the tears that are shed just because
Woo!
you can't have your husband.
And if I could really be real, the arguments before service and then come in and put on this face like, baby, you got it? Okay.
You gotta save face for the people. Gotta,
Save face.
gotta save face for the people.
Mm, mm,
Most
mm.
of the time, by the time he get done preaching, he's done a good job, and I'm like, okay.
I know, right? You be
I
like,
guess
that was
I'll
good.
I guess I'll let it go. But yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
real, man. Ooh, that's real. And it's not like you want to be fake or something like that, but it's literally that there are people
Yeah.
who literally can't handle you being human. Like they see you in a human moment, and now all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden you
Yep.
don't know God, and you ain't this, and you ain't
That's
that.
another con because I feel like that is definitely another one where people feel like that you're not human. Like the same way you go on dates, the same way y'all sit at dinner with your family, y'all go out and it's the same thing that we do as well. But sometimes because you're the pastor, oh well, they're supposed to, just drop what they doing and run to it.
Man, I'm telling you, the struggle is real.
Yeah, it's really real. It's
Yeah,
really real.
the struggle is real. So yeah, to answer that question, Tashara, no, we had no desire to raise
None
a
at
child
all. That
ever.
question is done, son.
And somebody said, I think it may have been Monique again. I saw in the comments, somebody said, if anybody is yearning to be a first lady, they want it for the wrong reasons. I can't remember who it was that said that.
That is
But,
very true.
yeah, very true. Oh, no. That was Shay's Truth and Pics. That's a IG name. I can't. These pictures are so small. I'm having a hard time telling who the people are. Okay, next question. What is your relationship like with the women in your congregation? You kind of talked to this a little bit earlier.
The women in our congregation, I love the women at our church. Like, we get together. The women in our congregation, when Girls Trip came out, we all went to go see Girls Trip and have lunch afterwards.
Oh, I love that.
We do things together. We've had a pajama jam vision board party where we went to one of the administrators' house and we had a vision board party and everybody just wore their pajamas and the person with the cutest pajamas won a prize.
I
Um,
love it.
we've had like a open session at the church one Saturday with all of us. It was called I forgot what we called it, but it was basically where you get a partner and you're able to just speak to that partner, like just speak life to them and let them know, when I see you, this is what I see. Or that person would tell you, okay, well, when I look at me in the mirror, this is what I see. That person can say, maybe I see depression when I look at me, or maybe I see, fearfulness when I look at me. But that other person can impart back into you and say, well, when I look at you, I see someone that's
Mm,
fearfully and wonderfully made. Just
yes.
we have a really, really good relationship. And I think that comes more so from just being relatable, because I think that most relationships with some first ladies, the reason why they don't have good ones with their members, or the reason why some of the members may not like their first lady and still just hanging in there, is because their first lady seems as if, or acts as if, they can't be touched. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
when I say relatable in my position, I'm talking about relatable in regards to, you can come to me and tell me what you're dealing with, and I can tell you, hey, I've been there too. This is what I've experienced in my life. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I feel like just in general, a lot of people, you'll find less people depressed, less people in jail cells if more people were just open and honest to where they've been in life.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
So we have a really good relationship. Those are my people.
That's what's up. I
Yeah.
love that. And it's because you just so chill, man.
I
You so
just
chill and people feel comfortable around you.
Right.
That's
And
huge.
you have to make that way for people. I mean, we have boundaries, even with going to, everything that we've done outside of ministry. I'm still first lady, or not even first lady. I'm still Lady E. Like there's still boundaries. Like, don't nobody say, hey Nene, or what's going on, Nene, or Nene, can we do this, or what you and Pastor do with it? You know what I mean? Everybody
Yeah.
knows boundaries. I'm still respected as the pastor's wife. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. Bessie asked a question about the last topic we were talking about. She said, how do you set boundaries because everyone thinks their needs are urgent?
Mm.
Ooh.
So as far as with setting boundaries, I would say, I know, like sometimes me and my husband, because it's very important, I really believe, for a pastor and a wife, or just his family in general, to have their time outside of church. So if that means cutting off your cell phone at a particular time, if that means while we're at dinner ignoring a call until I finish, because right now I feel like that you have to distinguish, like, okay, this is wife time, this is mommy time, okay, now I'll be first lady. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely have to set those boundaries, because I feel like that if you don't set those boundaries, that can start like just a little confusion and mix up in your home, and that's who you go back to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, setting boundaries, but I may can't get to you right now. You know what I mean? But, or let me get somebody else on the line to give you a call, another minister to give you a call. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, man. That's huge. You definitely yeah. You just have to do it. So like for us, our phones go into do not disturb mode automatically at 10 p.m. I think it is.
mm-hmm.
And so you have to be one of the favorites in the contacts in order for your call
Mm.
to even come through. So like if our pastor needs him, he's in the favorites. His call's gonna come through because like
Yeah.
V that's his dude. Whatever PC need,
Mm-hmm.
V is gonna be there. So Pastor Clark's calls can come through. That's just
Yeah.
about it. That's just about it. And our family, of course. So if there's
Right.
any family emergencies. But
I need to do that, because see, with me, it's just kind of like a look. Oh,
yeah. Girl, just be off. And if we go on date nights, a lot of times we'll just be like, leave the phones in the car. Leave them in the car, throw them in the glove box. We'll look at them when we get back home. Like,
Yeah.
disturbances. And you
Mm-hmm.
have to, because at the end of the day, like, whatever goes on, and sometimes it can be hard, and especially for, ministers, pastors, it can be hard for them to,
Right.
set those boundaries, because they're like, what if somebody needs me? Listen, if God can't save them while you at dinner with your
No
wife,
one can. Exactly.
then what kind
It
of
ain't
God are we
nothing you
serving?
can do to
What
change
kind of
that.
God are we serving if they
I've
need
heard
you
of
more than they need him? Come on now.
I've heard a
Come on.
pastor say this before. We were at a funeral, and I heard a pastor say, when if a member was to call him, he actually preached this at an anniversary. He said if a member calls him and says, "Hey, I need you to come right now. My grandmother is passing away. I need you to come and pray over him." He was like, "If I'm laying in the bed with my wife and your grandmother is passing away, I'm gonna pray for them while I'm at home in the bed with my wife, because if she's passing away, the Lord already done talked to her. She's transitioning, so
Right.
I mean, it's boundaries for sure. It's
Yeah.
definitely about setting boundaries.
And you just have to do it. This is an area that my husband is doing better in, but it's an
Mm-hmm.
area that's hard for him.
Oh
Vicky,
yeah, Josh too.
he wants to
Absolutely.
be everything for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They the same in that way. They want to be
Absolutely.
everything for
That's why they best
everybody.
friends.
Yeah, right.
They get on
And
the
that's
phone and tell each other, "I'm gonna let this one pass. I'm gonna go on and just."
right. Right. And I mean, it's hard for him, and it's caused a lot of arguments between us, because he
Mm-hmm.
just would struggle to just, like, bro, you can't do it all. You
Mm-hmm.
can't. I mean, you
Yep.
can and just have an unhappy wife for the rest of your life, but I don't think you want me unhappy for the rest of your life. Because when I'm
Me
unhappy,
unhappy and you unhealthy.
we're okay. Because he can catch these hands too. Okay. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I know, right? Me too, babe.
I'm just playing. I would never do that. I do
You see,
not
you showing
condone.
out,
I
sis.
do not condone domestic violence, y'all.
Yes, no fighting, none.
I'm
This first lady does not fight. No.
totally kidding. Y'all know I'm crazy. Y'all already know I don't got no good sense. Okay, this last question. I think we got like 5 minutes left, 5 or 6 minutes.
Okay.
What fear or doubt did you have when you became a first lady?
Mm. Ooh, there was a lot of fear and tremble.
Wow.
So I remember when my husband first told me that he knew God was calling him to pastor, I think I started having anxiety. Like, I
Mm,
felt like my son was 6 at the time, so I felt like, man, I was a PK, so I didn't want him to have to experience being at church when the doors open and leaving last month
oh,
to leave when when the church doors closed. And I never wanted him to feel like that. Even at 6 years old, he's 12 now and deep voice and everything. He do his own thing. But I never wanted him to feel restricted from being a PK. And
mm,
so that was one of my fears, just not thinking that I wasn't going to be able to allow him to experience like a normal childhood just because he's a pastor's kid.
right, right,
For
right.
myself, it was at this time, it was wondering, oh my God, like, is people gonna come and hear us? Like, we only 27, 28 years old. Is people gonna come? And then I had in my mind, like, Lord, did you really call him? Because I don't want to do this. Like, I know you not. Are you sure? And so,
Nobody consulted me about this.
yeah, I'm like, are you sure? Because the Lord he ain't told me nothing. But yeah, so there was definitely a lot of fear and doubt. But I can say that even through that, like, before that day of the first service, God started, the more that it came closer for him to actually say, okay, it's time to be installed. I'm about to be a pastor. God started, like, preparing me for the purpose that he had for me, like preparing me for the assignment, to where I could be at work and all of a sudden God will give me names for the youth ministry, names for the women's ministry. And I'm like, okay, this gonna really be good. Like, God, this is really you. And I mean, we've been good ever since. I mean, yes, it comes with, you know, different trials and things like that. But I can honestly say on this day that now there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that God did not call us for this assignment. And I'm grateful to be in this place, no matter what comes, no matter what goes, no matter who shows up, no matter who gives. Team Edwards, E5, Party of Five will always be in the building to support that man, because
Yeah.
I know what God has put inside of him, and we're here, we're making it. So, I mean, to God be the glory.
Yes. Ah, I love that. Listen, y'all. Nene's husband, my bro, that boy Josh is a preaching fool. Do you hear me? He's a preaching fool. It's so funny when like him and V get to compliment each other. No,
Oh my
you
God.
no, but you be no, but I'm just like, yo,
Now them Negroes, they the ones need to be on do not disturb on each other's phones, because
right.
when they get on the phone, I'm like, is Joe gonna
Lord.
tell him to come to bed yet? Like, what are we doing here? Like, when is Joe gonna tell B? Like, you
Girl,
give B the signal, then that'll get Josh off.
listen, I done gave up. I don't even try no more. I'll be like,
Uh-uh.
and good night.
Period.
But that's really like Josh is really the only person he would just sit on the phone forever with like that. So I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
he'd be on the phone for a while. I'd be like, tell my bro I said, what's up? I already know who
It's
that is.
definitely Josh.
I'd be like, where Nene at though? Where's Nene?
Yep. Them boys can talk, bro.
Oh man, I love it. Nene, this was amazing.
It really
Thank you.
was.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining me. This was great conversation, man. And listen,
Yes.
if you're in the Houston area, you gotta check my bro out. Go ahead, shout out the name of your church again.
Revolution 180 Church. We are
Yeah,
255 West Airtex Boulevard. And we start every Sunday at 8 a.m. and we get out about maybe 9:30, 9:45. You still got time to go get you some good brunch.
dude,
Whoop whoop.
dude. Y'all gotta check them out. They're dope people. I only do life with dope people. So I mean,
Period.
they're they're dope people. Thank you again, sis. Thank you, Uncle Pastor, for joining
I
for
know,
being
right, Uncle
on
Pastor?
for being on the live with us tonight. This was great for me. I hope that this was helpful for y'all. Listen,
Yes, it
be
was really good.
intentional. Be intentional about loving on your first lady, like for real. I try my hardest to support that Kathy Clark as much as I can. I try not to do too much because I know a lot of people, want to love on her and want to be calling her and stuff. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I always listen. If BC say something about his wife, I'm gonna be the loudest one yelling for her
Yes, for
sanctuary. You
real.
hear me? Because
Mm-hmm.
I know, I know. Okay, I know what that's like. And so often the pastor's wife is just kind of like forgotten about. It's not an intentional thing. Like
Right.
I don't take it personal or nothing like that. But it's just people just don't think about it. So take
They
the
really
time.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, and just take the time and love on her and support her and ask her how she's doing. Is there anything she needs?
Because
The
most
pastor
of the
gonna be taken
time
care of. The pastor,
it's because of that first lady. The majority of the time, if that pastor has the right first lady in his life, it's because, I mean, has a good foundation, everything's going well. It's because of that first lady that's pushing him.
yep,
So, yep.
yep. And the deacons they always gonna hold the pastor down. You ain't got to worry about him, okay? The deacons and the other ministers, like they got him. So make sure your first lady is good. Make sure she good. And
Yeah.
thank y'all, everybody who joined us tonight. Like, thank
Yes.
y'all so
Thank
much.
y'all.
I hope this was helpful in one way or another. And I'm going to make sure that I post this to my YouTube channel. Make sure you go click the link in my bio. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, please and thank you. And I love you, sis. I can't wait
I
till
love
I
you
see you in
too.
person
Virtual
again.
hug.
Tell my nephews I said hi.
I will. Love you, sis.
Love you too. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
And once again, special shout out to my sis Nene for obliging me and sitting down and talking with me tonight. And super special shout out to everybody who peeped in, even if you only had a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes to stop by. I appreciate it more than y'all will ever know. I hope there was some helpful information in there for you guys. Mind you, in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today, there will be a new series for my 7 o'clock sit down. We're kicking it off on November the 30th. It's going to be a foodie series. So I have special guest foodies from the Austin area. We're going to be talking all things food, and y'all don't want to miss it. You're going to get some of the most amazing food recommendations, places around the city that you can go to. Even places maybe outside of the city, because I know for sure one of my people loves to travel and eat too. So, y'all know I'm excited because I love food. So I'm super excited about that. But again, thank y'all so much for tonight. And I will see y'all again in 2 weeks on November the 30th as we kick off our foodie series.